Quick visual tidbits. The Clarke sisters, history makers. For many, it is believed that the presence of black women in the sport of soccer started in the late 20th century. However, during the late 19th century, there were 3 professional black female players of soccer, which in Europe is called football. There were 3 sisters named Emma, Jane, and Mary Clarke, with Emma being the most famous of the 3. The first of the sisters to enter the professional world of European football was Emma Clarke. Considered the first black female football player in British history, born in 1876 in Bootle, Liverpool, she was one of 3 daughters born to William and Wilhelmina Clarke. She is known today in part thanks to artist Stuart Gibbs. His interest in the history of women's football led him to research these players. It was during his inquiry that he found an article from June 1896 in the Sterling Sentinel that mentioned a colored lady of Dutch build in goal. At first, she was mistakenly identified as Carrie Boosted. It was not until 7 months later a photo was found that revealed her real name. She was Emma Clarke and not Boosted, who was white. Although Clarke at times played goalie, she was mostly an outfield player. The South Wales Daily News called her the fleet-footed dark girl on the right wing. Players of Mrs. Graham's 14 in 1895, Emma Clarke is in the back row, second from the left. She and her sisters most likely learned the game on the streets of her neighborhood in Bootle. The founder of Mrs. Graham's 14 and all-female team was Helen Graham Matthews, who lived a few streets from the Clarkes. Clarke made her professional debut in 1895 in London's Crouch End with an all-female team named the British Ladies. A year later, Emma, along with her sister Jane, went on to join Mrs. Graham's 14 tour of Scotland. Gibbs traces the 2 sisters' playing careers as far as 1903. He believed they may have earned £1 a week each playing football, plus food and lodgings, which for the time was decent. The fascination with female football players was so great that women played in front of thousands of spectators. Although covered by the media, there are no known interviews with Emma or her sisters. The third sister, Mary Clarke, may have also been a player, making the Clarke sisters the first black women to play football that we know of. This sketch appeared in the Hull Daily Mail of April 2, 1897. It depicts, as the caption states, the ladies' team before the match. Emma is third from the right in the back row. In the first row, the first on the right is believed to be her sister, Jane Clarke. The Clarke sisters were the first professional black female soccer players. After the sisters slipped into obscurity, it would be decades before we hear of another black female soccer player. This player comes to us from across the pond, Brianna Scurry, who was the goalkeeper for the United States women's national team in 1999. She would reintroduce black women to the game with a big bang, for it would be her save that secured a win for the USA during the Women's World Cup Championship. For E.I. Marcher, you have now been tidbitted.